Welcome to this video. If you have ever imagined running a poultry farm but didn't know how to start, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking everything down step by step, showing you how to begin a poultry business with just 50 birds and grow it into something profitable. Starting small is actually a smart strategy. It helps you learn, manage expenses, and expand without taking big risks. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what you need to confidently kick off your poultry farming journey. But before we dive in, I'd love for you to do me a quick favor. Hit that like button if you enjoy practical farming tips, subscribe to the channel for more poultry business guides, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Also, drop a comment below if you're planning to start your own farm or if you already have experience. I love hearing your stories and it really helps the channel grow. The first question you should ask is, what do you want to produce? Meat, eggs, or both? The breed you select will determine your business direction. If you want fast returns from selling meat, then broilers are your best option. They grow very quickly, and within 6 to 7 weeks, they're ready for sale. But they need quality feeding and close monitoring. Plus, their market can be seasonal. If you're more interested in steady long-term income, then layers are ideal. They begin laying at around 5 months old and can produce over 300 eggs yearly, giving you consistent earnings. But this path requires patience. If you want a combination of both meat and eggs, Broiler, Broiler, or other dual-purpose breeds are excellent choices. These chickens are strong, grow reasonably fast, and also lay well. They fit perfectly into free-range or organic systems, which often sell at higher prices. So, before buying your first batch of chicks, think about your market, your available funds, and the style of farming you prefer. Once you've made your decision, the next major step is setting up proper housing for your chickens. If you have chosen the right birds for your poultry farm, the next important step is housing. This is an area where many beginners either overcrowd their flock or fail to provide enough ventilation. A good poultry house does more than shelter your birds. It protects them from harsh weather, predators, gives them enough room to grow well, and helps control diseases by allowing proper airflow and hygiene. Based on your budget and the method you prefer, you can choose from different housing systems. The deep litter system is one of the most affordable and straightforward options. With this setup, you build a house with wire mesh for ventilation, a raised roof to improve airflow, and a dry floor covered with wood shavings or straw. For a flock of around 50 birds, make sure the house is at least 50 square feet to avoid congestion. Although deep litter is mostly used for broilers, it can also support layers, giving you flexibility depending on your aims. However, if you are mainly focusing on layers and want a more organized arrangement, the battery cage system might suit you better, since it helps in managing feed and eggs more efficiently, even though it costs more to install. And if you have enough land, a free-range setup can be a wonderful choice. This method allows your chickens to roam and find natural food, reducing feeding costs. Just make sure they have a secure shelter to sleep in at night. Once your housing is ready, the next focus is the equipment needed to support your chickens' growth, productivity, and overall welfare. Now, let's go through the essential tools you will need for your poultry farm, so pay close attention if you're planning your own setup. The first thing is your lighting system. Chickens need about 12 to 16 hours of light daily, especially layers, so it's important to install good LED bulbs. And if you're beginning with chicks, you'll also need heat sources. Brooder lamps or charcoal stoves provide the warmth they need in their early weeks. Now, let's talk about feeding tools, which are very important for your chickens' growth and performance. You can use automatic feeders or manual ones, depending on what works best for you. For a flock of about 50 birds, 3 to 5 medium feeders should be enough. A measuring scale is also necessary to help you provide the correct amount of feed and avoid wastage. Plus, remember proper storage.
Watering tools are just as important. Chickens need clean water all the time to stay healthy and productive. Automatic drinkers, such as bell or nipple types, or simple water bowls can all work well. For around 50 birds, 2 to 3 drinkers should be sufficient. You may also consider having a water tank or large bucket, particularly if you live in an area with unstable water supply. And for an added boost in their health, using electrolytes and vitamins in their water can make a big difference, especially during brooding, vaccination, and debeaking. Now, let's move on to health and biosecurity equipment. These are extremely important for avoiding diseases and keeping your flock safe. Make sure you have vaccination syringes and droppers for essential vaccines like Newcastle. A disinfectant sprayer is very helpful for keeping the poultry house clean and reducing germs. A foot bath at the entrance of the pen helps disinfect footwear before entering, which is a simple but effective biosecurity practice. Gloves and face masks are also useful, especially when handling sick birds or carrying out major cleaning tasks. And if disease appears, having a quarantine box makes it easy to isolate sick birds and prevent further spread. Also, keeping proper farm records helps you avoid many problems later on. Get a notebook or farm record book to write things like feed usage, vaccinations, and egg numbers. A weighing scale is also necessary for monitoring broiler weights before selling, and a calculator helps you check feed ratios, costs, and profits. Now that we have discussed all the equipment, let's go to the next part: feeding and nutrition. A well-fed bird grows quicker, lays more eggs, and develops stronger immunity. Because feeding is usually your highest cost, it's important to handle it wisely. For broilers raised for meat, their diet changes as they grow. Start with starter feed for the first 2 weeks to support strong development. Then switch to grower feed for weeks 3 and 4. And finally, give finisher feed from week 5 onward to increase their body weight. If you're raising layers for eggs, the feeding plan is slightly different. Start with starter feed for the first 8 weeks, then move to grower feed until around 18 weeks and switch to layer feed when 5% of the birds begin laying. Layers must have plenty of calcium to produce strong eggshells. For dual-purpose breeds like Broiler or Broiler, a mix of commercial feed plus kitchen leftovers, grains, works well, especially when they free range. Regardless of the breed, always ensure constant access to clean water and vitamins to improve their immunity. Some farmers even mix their own feed using maize, wheat bran, soybean meal, fish meal, and other ingredients in the right ratio, which can help reduce feeding costs. With the correct feeding and nutrition plan in place, your birds will grow well, produce better, and support the success of your poultry business. The next important step is protecting your flock. No matter how well you feed them, if they fall sick, you may lose a lot of money or even your entire investment. That's why understanding disease control and treatment is crucial. Chickens, like other animals, can become sick due to poor hygiene, overcrowding, or contact with infected birds. Let's discuss how to keep your flock healthy by preventing diseases before they start. For example, Newcastle disease can cause breathing problems, neck twisting, and even sudden death. So vaccinate your birds according to the schedule given by your chick supplier. There's also coccidiosis, which causes bloody droppings, weakness, and weight loss. Keeping the pen dry and clean and giving anticoccidial drugs when necessary helps control it. Mark's disease, a viral infection that leads to paralysis and death, is best avoided by vaccinating day-old chicks. And don't forget fowl pox, which causes sores on the skin and in the mouth. Preventing mosquitoes and vaccinating your flock helps keep it away. The best way to deal with all these problems is to stop them before they enter your farm, which brings us to biosecurity.
Biosecurity simply means keeping infections away from your flock. And a few simple habits can make a big difference, such as quarantining new birds for at least 10 days before adding them to the main flock. This reduces the risk of bringing in diseases. It's also important to limit visitors to your poultry farm because people can unknowingly bring infections on their shoes or clothes. Cleaning regularly is also very important. Make it a routine to change bedding, disinfect the pen, and keep feed and water clean. And if any bird gets sick or dies, dispose of it properly to prevent contamination. Daily health checks are also necessary. Take a few minutes each morning to observe your birds. Healthy chickens are active, have bright eyes, eat well, and have clean feathers. If you see any bird looking weak or isolated, separate it quickly and check for signs of illness. Besides vaccines and drugs, some natural remedies can support your chicken's immunity. Adding garlic and ginger to their diet can help fight infections and improve digestion. Using aloe vera in their water can also increase immunity, and apple cider vinegar acts as a natural antibiotic when added to their drinking water. By combining these natural methods with proper vaccines, medication, and strict biosecurity, you build a strong system that protects your flock. Now, let's discuss making money. A successful poultry farm isn't only about raising birds, it's also about selling them correctly and reaching the right customers. The first step in selling your poultry products is identifying your target buyers. Think about who needs your eggs or chicken. You can sell directly to consumers in markets, supply fresh products to hotels and restaurants, or work with supermarkets and butcher shops that need constant stock. Don't forget online marketing, using platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, which can reach more customers. You can also sell to bulk buyers like wholesalers, although they pay less. To stand out in the market, you can brand your eggs, offer neat packaging, reliable delivery, or market your birds as organic or free range to increase your prices. After defining your marketing method, the next step is pricing for profit. Calculate all your expenses, including chicks, feed, medicine, labor, and maintenance. Once you know your total cost per bird or per egg, add your profit margin. But still check market prices so you don't overcharge or sell too cheap. For example, if it costs you $6 to raise one broiler, you might sell it for $8 or $10, depending on demand. You can also make extra income by selling processed products like dressed chicken, smoked chicken, or egg-based snacks. Once you master raising 50 birds, the next step is expanding your poultry farm. Reinvesting your profit is the easiest way to grow. Use part of your earnings to buy more chicks or improve your housing. As your confidence increases, you can grow from 50 to 100, then 500, and eventually 1,000 or more. Diversifying your farm is also a smart idea. If you began with broilers, you can add layers to the business. Partnering with organizations can give you stable income, so try getting supply deals with hotels, schools, or supermarkets. Growth takes time, but with good management, smart marketing, and quality production, you can turn your small farm into a highly profitable business. Starting a poultry operation with 50 chickens is a great way to enter the farming sector, and by using everything we've discussed, you're on the right path to success. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it, leave a comment if you want a video about the estimated cost of raising 50 chickens, and subscribe for more farming tips. And if you're already raising birds, I'd love to hear your experience, so feel free to share it in the comments. See you in the next video, and I wish you great success in your poultry farming journey.